Let's make an ultimate 3-tier Pinterest scrunchie from scraps. You need 3 pieces of fabric. They should be 70 centimeters long, 11 centimeters wide. Then you need some elastic. Mine is 16 centimeters long, and you can add some lace, but you definitely don't have to. But if you like, this should be 2 m 10. Now I'm cutting the lace, and I need it as long as I have the fabric. Then I'm pinning the lace. And the fabric right on top. When pinning the lace, make sure that the side you want outside in the end is facing inwards. Also, if your fabric has one good side, this should be inside now. I'm folding it open and adding the lace to this side and pinning it again. Now it should look like this and pinned on the other side, and one piece of lace should be left over. I'm sewing together what I've just pinned, and at the start and at the end I am doing some back and forth stitches, and I use stitch length 2.5. And when you have this, you can do a zigzag stitch or a overlock stitch over the edge. This is just in case you want to wash it sometime. You're not going to see it at all. Then we can iron the whole thing. Now pinning the third piece of the lace. Again, if you don't have lace, you can just skip this part. I'm just quickly sewing on the lace. Now I'm folding it, and here I'm just checking that the lace faces the same direction, and I'll pin the seams precisely on top of each other. Here as well. I'm gonna sew along here, but in the middle, which I have marked with pins, I will leave an opening. So I do a few back and forth stitches here and here as well. At the start, of course, as well. I'm doing a zigzag stitch over the edge, but of course I leave the opening open. I have ironed the side seam and I'm turning it over, and the back part I'm folding in and I'm matching up the seam. I'm starting to close the edge, and at the start and at the end I'm doing a few back stitches again. As I have the needle down, I can lift the foot and pull on the fabric. Just be careful that the part that is in here is not getting into the seam. And I'm continuing. With the needle down, I am going to pull again. And I have started here, so I leave an opening to turn it easily. I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch over the edge. You can also do an overlock stitch, but just leave the part open so you can turn it. And now I can turn it, just pulling it out through the hole. Next, I'm massaging the lace out, or you can just massage the corner out if you have no lace. And I'm ironing all around. This I'm doing for all of them. I'm just placing it flat, and I take some chalk and I mark 4 centimeters. Same thing for the other side. For this side as well. And then for this side as well. And for the side as well. I'm massaging the edge out here just to make sure it's right, and I put a pin so that the seam lines up. Making sure that I'm pulling this part out, and I am choosing a longer stitch, about 3.5 to 4, and sewing the 4 centimeters. Always pulling it out. I'm going a few stitches further so the stitches don't open up. I'm done, so I'm going one across and I'm pinning the seam again and sewing the 4 centimeters. Here as well, just making sure that I'm not taking in any of the other fabric. Moving on to the next and the last, I'm again sewing down the 4 centimeters. Just checking everything lies nice and flat and nothing is in the seam. For the opening you have turned, you can either sew it close with the sewing machine or do it by hand. If you want to do it by sewing machine, just follow the edge here and you have it nice and close. Then you need your elastic, the opening. I can pull the elastic with the pin through. I've pinned it on here so I'm not losing it, and I'm just pushing it through until I'm out the other side. Then when you're all around, you can pin it together, and now I'm going to do a zigzag stitch back and forth over the sides. I'm sewing it together with a zigzag stitch, and here you have to go back and forth quite some time so that it holds super well. You really don't want this to open up again. Just make sure it holds super well and you can pull it in. Et voila, the most voluminous scrunchie.